Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Chai with Gary. It's a sad day for United. We lost to Watford 4-1. Apparently, the club that has been guaranteed for relegation, we went and let them put four past us. I think the scoreline should it's probably not as reflective as what it should be because there could have been six, if not for De Gea's double penalties. Fucking hell. Okay, before we get into addressing the elephant in the room, let's quickly talk about the game and then let's get done with it, Gary. 4-1 to Watford. I think this is the lowest United have been since I remember anyway.
Yeah, it's not great, and I tell you what, I don't even know what to say. Right? It's one of those results where you can't even cry about it, Chai. It's
Don't
laughable.
cry, dude,
I was
please.
laughing throughout the game. The way
Yeah.
we were defending, the way we couldn't get the ball past the midfield. We'd hit balls into spaces where there was no one there. Um, Watford looked like United, and United looked like Watford, right? End of the
Yeah.
day. So look, for me, before this game, I was in an acceptance that we are another Arsenal. Look, we've had horrid performances in the last 5 or 6 games. For me, in the back of my mind, mentally, I'm thinking, look, it's basically friendly games we've got until the end of the season. Hopefully we don't get relegated, which I don't think we will, but then again, you never know. And in the back of my mind, I'm just thinking, look, yeah, okay, I'll get excited about the game. Yeah, okay, it's if we win, then that's great. But
Yeah.
are we going anywhere, Chai, with the
No.
performance and the results? It's a bit like, what am I even doing watching these games? Sometimes I ask myself, right?
You know what? Every international break, I'd be like, oh fuck, there's no football for there's no football for 15 days or a fortnight or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And then suddenly when the international break's over, I'm like, yes, the football's back on, we can watch it and stuff like that. Usually get excited for the game. For some reason, whatever it been, there'd been talks, rumors about the manager and stuff like that, and people being unhappy. I think whatever Solskjaer has done post Jose in terms of clearing out the toxicity, making it a better environment, all of that has been completely undone in the last month or
Mm,
so. And
mm,
it's unfortunate where we find ourselves. So obviously going into this game, I wasn't excited, but I had a feeling we'd win the game, right? With scrape a result or a draw or whatever it is. I thought we would, right? There were some changes to the team which looked promising initially, right?
mm.
But
McTominay,
for
you mean?
yeah, Matic coming in and probably Sancho starting on the right, Rashford
Yeah.
on the left. We've never actually seen that formation as a starting point. This thing. I thought Van de Beek will get a start after all the bollocks that we've heard. Ole is suggesting that he's training hard as a professional and shit like that. But when the actual game itself was kind of put us in place, we have a squad, and I think somebody was giving me numbers. I think Vishnu was giving me numbers this morning. Something around 350 million this manager has spent over the time he's here.
I think
Three hundred fifty, three
it's
seventy million,
close to 450 million, Jai.
450 million, right?
Yeah,
Now, with 450 million, I think that will be the defense spending budget for countries, let alone bloody a football club. Now, let's put that
yeah.
in perspective, right? Defense for a country. So, and now we have this shit show in Harry Maguire. I don't know why he starts.
Mm.
Really, just give him some time off. He's a fucking captain as well. And Luke Shaw was none the wiser anyway. Um, and then we saw ourselves having a pathetic first half.
Yeah.
Did, there was a very disturbing thing. I think around the 40th minute or something like that. I can't remember 40th minute or 60th minute. Regardless, right? There was
Mm.
a time where we had two shots on target. Oh, two attempts on target, and one on target. Right,
Yeah.
right. Two
Yeah.
shots on goal,
That was a
other ones were
Rashford shot on target, right?
yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah. And then
Mm.
they had 10 attempts
10. Yeah.
and four on target or something like that, something stupid like that in the
Chai,
middle of the game.
we had, look, by some miracle, De Gea saved that penalty. It was a shit penalty, but somehow we saved that penalty.
Mm.
It was just like, okay, the first penalty, the guy takes it. obviously, there's an infringement, so the penalty has to be retaken.
Yeah.
He saved it the second time
Second
again.
time.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
what are the chances? I mean, we
But
we were outplayed. Like, look, I don't want to get too, the game is done. Whatever happened,
Mhm.
the manager is done. But what I'm trying to say is that we have a squad good enough to beat Watford.
we have a squad good enough to fucking challenge the cities and Chelsea's. We have a
And
squad good enough.
I just don't understand why. Okay, let's go through the positives, right? Positives, as you say, Sancho started really
Mhm.
look okay. First half maybe not so good. Second half he really lit up the scene. Really, really good. I think Rashford was okay. He had that one shot, but I don't think maybe he was not fit or what.
Yeah, he
Um,
wasn't fit.
De Gea obviously saved us a penalty, and then second half when Van de Beek came, the game just transformed for us.
Yeah.
Van de Beek and Sancho were our two best players in the game.
Hmm.
And Sancho's crossing in particular I was really impressed with it. I think he
Hmm.
had two or three crosses to Ronaldo. Ronaldo could have
Hmm.
buried it.
Hmm.
Um, he had a really good game, I thought. So I look at that team. Look, the way the starting lineup was flawed, right? You're going to play against a low block. You want to have players who want the ball to the feet. There was no reason to put McTominay there. What was
Hmm.
McTominay going to offer in that game? I have no idea. Van der Beek was penciled in to start. This
Yeah.
this game was the ideal game for him to start.
Yeah.
Whatever reason, he doesn't start.
Hmm.
Comes in the second half, he kills it with his passing range, the through passes, the movement. He just opened up Watford. And to be honest,
But
when
that's
we got
only
the
20 minutes. But let's be very
but Chai,
fair.
when we
This is
came
this
back
is
in the
where the
game 2-1.
expectation.
Two
Agreed. This
one,
is this is our
yeah,
expectations, Girish. The
yeah,
what's changed is our level of expectations. Now, let's say in the Fergie era, if you're playing Watford and we had the same performance in the first and the second, okay, long, long as a club, our standards have dropped. Right. I
yeah.
think that in comparison to the new standards, I think we did well.
Mm.
In the 20-30 minutes in the second half, I think we did okay. Right. But compared to where we should be to where
Yeah,
what we're doing,
it's slim pickings, right, Chai? It's slim
exactly,
pickings.
100%,
you,
100%.
I
You just
mean,
lost 4-1 to relegation. This thing, there is slim pickings in the game.
yeah. So I look at it and I thought, look, I thought when we came back, we got that one goal back. I thought, look, that's it. The momentum's going to shift now. We'll do what we've done thousands of times before. We'll come back,
It
get a draw, or get a win.
it
And then
reminded
it
me of
just
the
never came.
Southampton game. Remember when Ferguson was not Ferguson?
Oh,
Sorry, Jose
yeah.
Mourinho was
Jose.
on the brink of
Was it
getting
Newcastle? That was Newcastle.
no Newcastle. There was, I mean,
Jose's
Pereira
was
scored a wonder
Newcastle.
goal as well, right? Pereira
Yeah.
scored a wonder goal, and
Oh,
Lukaku.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah.
we won the game 3-2. So I
Hmm.
think it was, yeah, we had most of the games. I get what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah. So look, the goal never came, and then they hit us on the counter with two stupid goals. I mean, it was a carbon copy. The third and the fourth goals that they scored were carbon copy. Same area. De Gea should have done better, but where was the defense? You
Yeah.
know, it's we've gone through this a million times. Right? I'm bored of talking about it. I'm just bored of talking
Yes.
about it. So
It's
look, it's done now.
yeah.
He's obviously going to get sacked.
Hmm.
So, um, yeah, we're in shambles now because I just like we're just talking about it before we came on the show. We had this 2 weeks to prepare, get a manager in. I know what you're saying that the writings were on the wall after the City game. He
Hmm.
would have been told that look, there's no future.
Right.
So my argument to that was that why don't you just sack him then,
Hmm.
get Fletcher, whoever it is,
Hmm.
to really set the team up to how Fletcher wants to play. Because Chai, what's going to happen now is we sack him like today. He's got 2 days to prepare for the Villarreal game. That's not enough time, Chai, to prepare. I mean, what preparation can you do?
I mean, it's going by what's been happening with us. I don't think we prepare anyway. I think we just go freestyle. I think
Yeah, I mean
that's
that's true. It's just wing it, they call
yeah,
it.
exactly.
But
Um,
yeah, I just think it's
so
shambles. Chai.
I
I mean, a
think
club of Manchester United's
oh,
magnitude in terms of revenue and sales and market potential, I just don't understand how this club is so underprepared for succession planning when it comes to the managers. It's
You know what, Gary? I think you mentioned the City game. I think this should have been looked at very seriously after the Leicester game. I think the Leicester, or even before that, saying, okay, Leicester games, okay, Everton we drew at home or whatever nonsense, and then the Leicester game happened. Atlanta games were, I think, punctuated by the Everton game, I think, or
yep.
whatever it was, or Leicester game. All of these had makings of a shit show. I mean, they could have forecasted a shit show, right?
Mm.
The conversations should have been up and running when Leicester were beat us 4-1. This was about at least a month ago, right? Whatever
Has
should
it
have
been that long
happened,
already? Wow.
it would have been, right? So, I mean, because
Wow.
Leicester, City, Liverpool, that's 3 weekends and an international break and Watford. So 5 weeks it's been almost
Yeah.
since the Leicester game. All of this could have been in place. We have 4 points of 21, I think. Four.
4 out of 21, Chai. That's right.
4 out of 21. I think Norwich has done better. I think Norwich is a fucking
Man,
done
that
better.
is.
This is
I
just
can't.
ridiculous.
And you know what's worse, Chai? Our goal difference now is negative.
Correct.
We've scored 20 and we've considered 21 goals,
21.
Chai.
Dude, look at in the
It's
last 4 games, I think last four losses. I think it was what Leicester put four,
four.
uh,
Liverpool
Atlanta
to
scored
five.
two, Liverpool five, and now Watford for four, and City two. City could have been easily six, easily if they
Hmm.
wanted. They could have been fucking. It would have been another 8-0 fucking defeat
Even
of
Watford, Chai.
Liverpool.
We could have lost
Yeah.
5-6. Who's
So
counting?
why is it that there wasn't any succession plan in place after this?
Look, you got to ask yourself who's actually, what are the credentials of these people managing this club? Okay.
There
Ed
isn't any
Woodward,
Gary's.
what's
So
his
I mean,
qualification?
uh, Van de Beek Bahu. That's nice.
Always at the
Uh,
wheel. Not for much longer, I hope not.
I think
Um,
yeah,
it, yeah, look, I, I don't like. I just look at this club, and I'm just worried that we go through this cycle in the next 3 years again. We'll get a really good manager now. We're going to play some crazy football for the next 1 to 2 years, and then we'll hit a slump, and then the manager will again. We'll go through this whole period again, Chai. I just got this
correct,
feeling because the structure at the club is flawed. Okay,
correct.
we've gone on this show. We've complained about Solskjaer a million times now, but Solskjaer is just a pawn. Okay, because you got to look at the people above him.
Mm.
This guy, Ed Woodward, has sacked what, four managers now: Van
More,
Gaal, Moyes, Mourinho, and now
Mourinho.
Solskjaer. Right, four managers, and he's been allowed to stay in power right now. So for me, right now, I look at this whole club and this mess that this club's in. I
Yeah,
don't. It's not about the manager anymore for me. It's the
yeah,
structure of the club. Like who's
yeah,
actually doing what, where who's taking responsibility of what,
yeah.
who's in charge of firing and hiring manager, who's in charge of looking at
It's all
succession planning
Edward
for
Wood, right? The
managers.
buck stops with Edward Wood. I think. Look,
So
and
like
there are.
okay, so what's his qualification then, Chai? You're a
I don't know.
banker, okay?
He's a
You're
banker.
really
Yeah,
good in managing finances. Our record numbers for revenue are out of this world. We are the
yeah.
most profitable club in the world. We've signed Ronaldo. We are selling shirts like there's no tomorrow. We're doing really good on the financial side. But on the pitch where it matters, what have we actually done, Chai, in the last, 8 years?
Nothing, dude. Nothing. I think there were glimpses. Okay, before we go into this thing, let's acknowledge. I mean, Ole is a club legend. He's done what he
Yeah.
could, and then he was out of his depth. And as Van der Beek Bahu kind of says, it's the board wanted a yes man, and it was a yes man. It's very difficult to kind of lobby against a legend in the United fans' eyes or even the pundits' eyes, right? They've played with him. They have some respect for him. So if this was Mourinho, he would have been sacked 4 weeks ago.
Chai,
Easy.
he wouldn't even have started the season, I'm telling you
Correct.
now.
Correct. Exactly right.
So
So moving on now that we find ourselves in the situation where look what obviously you can go into the fact that what the fuck were they doing when the international break was there? They had 9 days out of which 8 days they were fucking sorry 7 or 8 days a week off during this critical time and
And you know what's
you
the worst part, Chai? The worst part of this whole thing is like just this game that we just watched. Each time the goal went in, Chai, the camera would just pan onto Solskjaer. You look at his face, he's a defeated man, Chai. He's defeated. He's not coming back from this. You can see he
Not
just wants the misery to end. He
correct.
wants, like, I know, like, he keeps telling himself United is his love and his dream. It's his dream job to manage. But end
Of
of the
course,
day,
his dream job,
if it's
though.
affecting your mental health, because I think
Hmm.
some of the shit he comes out with in the press conference, you can see that that's some of that's kind of affecting his mental health, to some extent, I
Yeah,
feel, anyway. And I just think it's not healthy. It comes to a point, where sometimes you just got to let
admit
go
it's
of
beyond you,
things.
right?
Yeah,
So, look, let me ask you this: if I put you as a CEO of Amazon, you're going to fail tomorrow, right? It's not
yeah.
an indication of who you are, but it's just a
What's my
position that you
qualifications, sir?
correct.
Exactly. What's
What
my
are your
experience? What's
qualifications?
my qualification? Exactly.
Exactly. What do you have
Yeah.
on your CV to be made that position? And exactly the same question should have been asked as a. We're talking corporate. United is a listed company, so you
Mm,
have to look at all of that, right? If you
mm,
have a manager managing the CEO's directions on the field, what qualifications do you have to make sure that success is guaranteed? And
yeah.
success in what terms, right? I don't think there's an ambition to this club anymore. I don't think finishing top four is good enough because they'll at least it's paying off a part of their debt, right? I mean, it's a
Yeah.
private equity model, and then they bought it. They just but anyway, so of all of this bullshit that's been going on, I fail to realize why there are two biggest pieces, right? Ed Woodward should have been gone a long time ago. I don't know what he was supposed to go after that whole fiasco of the Super Leagues and stuff like that. He was supposed
Mm,
to go, but he still finds himself in the mix of things. Is there a succession plan for him? I doubt it, right? Um, s- s- Secondly, because of him, Ole stays, right? It's a CEO's job to hire and fire, right? And he's just not been able to make a decision to fire these people. Of the last four managers, we have different diversities, right? A small club manager who's built Everton in David Moyes, and
mm-hmm.
he has the culture of, I'm going to be at a club, I'm going to be there long term, I'm going to make sure there's success. That kind of manager. Second one is Van Hal. He'll drill all the important, very fundamentals into you. He very structured, different kind of manager. Jose, serial winner, and Jose did nothing. And
Yeah.
fans' favorite Ole, right? We've
Mm,
gone through the spectrum of managers, but we
yeah.
still can't identify that one person. Now, getting to the
Yeah.
crucial questions that you know this Van Big Bar who is asking is who are in the mix? What would you like to see? And how do we go about getting them?
What I would like to do personally is to, well, get rid of Woodward, Solskjaer, the coaching staff, the whole lot, Chai. Just purge the whole system and start new. If not, what I want to do is I would be happy with partitioning the responsibilities of Woodward. Woodward, you manage the financial side of things, but I'm going to bring in a Ralph Ragnick or someone like that who's got actual football experience, who's been in the game, who knows what it's like to manage a big club and to build a
Yeah.
big club and to ensure a big club like United is successful. Let him make all the footballing decision. Woodward, you can go and manage the finances. Go and get me a deal. Go and get me a sponsorship from Amazon or whatever it is. But don't touch football. Right? Footballing
Yeah.
matters will be handled by this one, by
But
Ralph Ragnick, whoever it is, the
but
director of
that's the
football.
point. Went and found that person in Murto, right? That's
But
Murto's role.
Chai, it's a fallacy
It
because he
is.
does nothing. He
I
does
know.
nothing. What does Moto do?
Nothing at this point because his hands are tied. Because all the decisions is kind of I understand that you want to split responsibilities, but at least to make sure that there's a dummy fucking role in there because the fans were screaming for it. They brought out they formalized what that position would be in Murto, right? Whether he's the right person, definitely not. But just to eye wash, right? This is exactly what eye washing is, or whatever it is. Like, okay, you know what? At least for the sake of the papers and the structure of the club, we'll put in a director of football who's irrelevant anyway. I'm going to just bypass him, right? That's
Yeah.
and you know what shocks me? Yeah, okay, there are managers in the mix, right? I don't want Brendan Rodgers, and I have a feeling I don't think he'll be the right fit because if it is Brendan Rodgers, we're having this conversations in about 2 years' time,
Oh
right?
God! Don't talk about Brendan Rodgers. He got thumped by Chelsea.
Chelsea,
Chai.
you know what? The funniest thing is he's not won a game since he beat United.
Yeah.
He played Arsenal, he played Chelsea, he lost both, I think.
Yeah. Now he's lost. Yeah, he's been on a losing streak, and I think they're what 14th in the league right now.
Uh,
He
don't
might be
know.
sacked soon. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
might be sacked. That's the worst part. If
yeah,
he's sacked
I
by
do.
Leicester,
Yeah.
if he's sacked by Leicester, and Leicester is probably going to be more, I guess, prudent in making their decisions, right? They would
Yeah.
have fucking, they're probably in touch with somebody who can take over this club. They would have fucking
Mm.
sacked him, and worst case, he'll be the only available manager then.
Yeah. So
Or
we are
are these
fucked.
guys? Yeah, are these guys waiting for Leicester's manager to get fucked? Brendan
I,
Rodgers to be available?
no, I don't know, man. I think the look, this 2 weeks gone. I think it's just wasted. We told
Yeah,
Solskjaer to go on a break. You know
yeah,
what we should have done is, if you're going to plan to keep him, why is he
mm,
going on a fucking trip back home? He should be
yeah,
working on tactic. He should be drilling his players, working on a solution, bonding with
yeah.
the players. I mean, trying to understand what the issues are. But the problem is, there's no direction to this club. And I tell you what, Chai, we had this chat with the football capital last week,
Mm.
and one of the things that I forgot to say as well, how appalling the communication has been from the club in terms of what's happening with the manager situation.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable, Chai. I mean, it's either you back him, you come up with a statement, because that's what most clubs will do, right? If a manager's under trouble, they'll come up with a statement saying that we still back so and so. He's going to be here for the next foreseeable future. So pretty much, you just got to support him. But we just went into hiding for the 2 weeks. There was nothing there. Every Insta post that United came up with was just abusive towards Ole. There was
yeah.
Ole out, Woodward out, whatever not. And no one did anything. I mean, it's shocking.
It's right. I think they would have tested the market, guy. I think that's what would have
You
happened. They
do
would have
you
tested.
think so?
I think they would have tested the market. So let's think about the potential options out there, right?
Mm.
There is Brendan Rodgers, because he has an exit clause from his contract saying, okay, if a club from the Champions League comes in, then you can leave. So that's potentially an option. There were I don't know. There've been talks that they've been reaching out to Zidane. That's not going to happen.
I
Ten
don't
Hag
think
is
so.
not going to
Yeah.
leave Ajax right now. So what are the other options, right? What are the other options? Now they're talking about Fletcher to be in charge for the Villarreal game, right?
Mm.
If anything, Ole has done more than Fletcher in his time here.
Exactly.
I think Ole is a bigger name in the or has reached some sort of a legendary status than Fletcher. Fletcher is just a passing midfielder, and I don't know what qualities he has to be the manager of the league. If you really had to put Fletcher in charge and Michael Carrick and Kieran McKenna,
Mm.
why not just keep Solskjaer? I mean, what's the difference?
Well, I think it's gotten to a point where it's so toxic in the fan base. I think you just have to get rid of Solskjaer. Whether I
But
agree with, I mean, just looking at the potential options that we've got, I don't know if I agree with it, because who have you got there who's going to come in? Like you say, we'll have to go and buy out a manager's contract. On top of
correct,
that, we'll have to offer him some crazy
correct,
salary.
correct.
So it's going to be an expensive exercise. But I think,
Okay.
keeping Solskjaer there would have probably done more damage towards the morale of the squad. So he had to
Probably
go. But I don't know where we
unless
go from Chai. I really don't know. I mean, when I saw Fabrizio's tweet that Solskjaer's going to get sacked, I was initially
that's
happy. But then
yeah.
now when I look at it, what do we do now? I
What
mean,
do we
we're
do
Manchester
exactly
United and we can't attract the best managers. There's a
now?
big
The
problem with that.
Correct. And what the worst part is it's not even official yet, right? It's coming from Fabrizio Romano, who's close to the sources but not the source, right?
So you think they
So
might do a U?
no, but they can't do, right? They can't do now. Even if they were thinking about, dude, you can't find someone midweek, dude. Come on, now what? Fucking
Yeah,
Monday they're traveling to Villarreal for a Tuesday
yeah.
game. Sunday is a bloody day off. Who the fuck is
You
going to
know
come
how
and do
you've
that?
got job descriptions in Seek. It'll be
Yeah.
that 1, 2, 3 weeks. They don't get any applicant. They'll just take it off and say, "Look, position
We'll
filled."
repost it with a different job description and a title.
Yeah, that's what
That's
these
a
guys
good.
are doing. Like, I don't know if they advertise it on Seek or whatever your
Uh,
job, yeah, website is in
yeah,
your
but
respective
let's leave
countries. But I'm
this.
sure, like, it's
Let's
it's
leave this
shambles, Chai.
transfer.
It's shambles. We we can't attract a manager right now. You can't if
Dude,
you
who the
don't.
fuck wants to touch with? I have a feeling these players are also difficult to manage, right? I think it's difficult to manage because Bruno is up there doing his own fucking thing. And what was the okay? we'll go through this. I just want to get your opinion, and then we'll read some comments, right? Um, End of the game. He's gonna clap away. He's gonna.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, you can write a fucking soap opera
It
with this
was
club.
cringe-worthy, dude. It was cringe-worthy. I mean,
Oh, it was
this
really
guy, I
bad.
mean, who's he think he is?
Good.
You know?
First of all, only half the team goes to clap the away fans. Out of which this guy
Ronaldo has
Van de
gone to
Beek is
the
right now. Dude.
Ronaldo's gone to the dressing room. He's cleaned up and he's probably
Yeah, he's
driving the
probably
bus
gone
back
home.
to Manchester. You know,
Uh,
uh,
is it?
it's like, I mean, this is what I'm trying to understand. What is the hierarchy in the club? I mean, I'm not sorry, not in the club. In terms of the playing staff, who's
I'll
the
tell you
actual
what.
captain there? Because you had Maguire who got sent off.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about that. Who got
Ah,
fucking sent off? He
dude.
threw his armband on the floor,
Yeah, dude. What a
and he's supposed to be our captain.
After a week where
Um,
he did his very
yeah, did this, and
wanderlust celebration, but whatever it
he
is.
scored against San Marino and this and that, and he thought
It's
he's
fucking
won the Ballon
Albania, dude.
d'Or. So he's a bloody
Uh,
prima donna. I mean, it's a bit of a joke with this whole Maguire thing as well. I think the next manager comes in, whether it's Fletcher or whether it's McKenna or whoever it is, needs to take off the captaincy from him because
dude,
I
there are
think
fucking some big names you've just thrown in the hat. It's fucking no way. Okay,
don't put that past this club, Chai. That could happen. If we don't find, if Fletcher one day says, no, it's too much for me, McKenna's next in the line. So we
yeah,
go to McKenna, and then I think there was a goalkeeping coach as well. He might
that
put
guy
his
should
hands
become
up.
the
Yeah. And then if all else fails, Woodward will say, hey,
Ronaldo. Ronaldo, what
yeah,
the fuck you're doing? I'm paying you enough. Just please do the double, do the player manager role. But let's read
yeah,
what Pram said, right? So Pram's
yeah,
kind of mentioned a couple of things. So Ole was bought. He was brought in to do a particular role. Actually, it was to steady the ship, I guess, after
yeah,
that bloody thing. And it was supposed to be an interim. The worst thing I think we did with Ole is to give him a contract after the PSG game. If
yeah.
that wouldn't have happened, everybody would have known what the fuck is going on, right? But
This is the problem, Chai, because, okay, us as fans, we will get carried away. We'll see a result here, and then, the euphoria and the
yeah.
feelings of, just that PSG game was amazing. Woodward is the person making decisions and he's
Mm.
listening to the fans and making a call in terms of whether the manager should be given a contract or not. I mean,
I think
this is really where we're at right now.
I
The
think he's
problem is
just
we
looking
don't.
at social media, dude.
He's
I think
looking at
he's like,
social media, all in, and then yeah, okay, let's give him another 10-year contract.
correct.
So it's
They gave him a new contract with Mike Phelan start of the season. Imagine that, a fucking $7.5 million worth contract we had to buy him out. Does
man.
that make sense, dude? What is this? Fuck. Anyway, so Pakiza is asking, who do you think is next? That's the question I think everybody is asking. Let me ask you that question. Who do you think is next, Gary?
Uh, I don't know,
Okay, tell
man.
me,
I mean,
who do you
look,
think it will
let's look at the
be?
options, right? Let's look at the options. Okay, Brandon Rogers,
Wayne
number
Rooney.
one target, supposedly, because Wayne Rooney,
Wayne Rooney, Roy Keane, Gary Neville, all of these guys, John O'Shea, he's also
Chai,
developing.
if we get another ex-United player to come and manage us, I am going to stop supporting this club. I'm done. I can't take this anymore. The whole reason Solskjaer's lasted this long is because he's a cult of the club, right? Now, I don't want to go through this whole emotional thing where we go, it's Carrick at the wheel or bloody Rooney at the wheel or Rooney driving the bus or whatever it is. I don't want to go through that again. For me,
Rooney is the
let's look at
bus.
Brendan Rodgers, no connection to United.
Yeah.
Okay, ex-Liverpool manager, which is not a big thing. I don't really care about that. Pro on bringing in youth. He's done a really good job at, I think Liverpool, he did a good job. Even Celtic, he's done a good job. Leicester, obviously, they're really good at finding young players from the European continent, bringing them up, nurturing them and doing,
But
a
is
good
that
job.
Leicester or Rogers? Now, that's what I want to know.
I don't know. I mean, but you think that he'd have a say, right? Because he's done the Chai. When he was at Liverpool, Chai, he had
Yeah.
apart from Suarez, I'm trying to think who was in the midfield. Suarez and Gerrard. I'm trying to think. Sturridge was there as well. He made Sturridge a really good player. Raheem Sterling was also doing really well there. and then he went to City, obviously. But he's got a knack of bringing young players in. So I think, and also on top of that, he's uh he's
He
not
plays a
very
good system, I
abrasive,
think,
right?
though. He
Huh?
plays a quite a decent system. I
He
think he
does, Chai.
plays.
But look at him, Chai. I mean, he can't even beat. I mean, is that
No,
really
but
what
he
we
plays a
want
good
now? I don't
system in the
know.
sense that, look, he's not. I think he plays a system that is in between City and Klopp. I think just now. I think that's Pep and Klopp. That's. I think he'll sit in the middle. I think there is a bit
Yeah.
of pressing in there that well, I
The
mean, they do
passing is
well with
good. The pressing is
passing
good.
is good, press is good.
Yeah.
They're so Brendan Rodgers, I think, will be the most likely candidate. I think,
Yeah,
but
and I think he's quite flexible with his formations as well, which is good because if something doesn't work, then you can kind of change it out. And I think he's a really good manager, tactician manager. I
mm,
think he'll do really well. And apparently, a lot of I think Steven Gerrard even mentioned it in terms of man management. Brendan Rodgers is probably one of the best he's worked with. So look, there's a lot of pros with Rodgers, but end of the day, I still think his
he's a
the
bottle.
thing about United is, Chai, United is not a Leicester, it's not a Celtic. United's like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool. The pressure's there, Chai. You need to perform. You go 1, 2, 3 games without getting a win, the pressure's going to be immense. So I still have questions about Rogers and whether he's able to handle the pressure at the top level. I
Who
just
else is
don't
there
know.
now? Who else?
So Rogers is out for me. Ten Hag, don't even get me started. All these bloody hippies out there in social media going on about Ten Hag like that. He's the next Jesus Christ. What is there to prove? What have you got to prove to me that he's going to be successful at this level?
No, but he builds a system, right? That's what we
Chai, but
need.
look at United. We're not a club with long-term visions. We're not going to give a manager 5 to 6 years to come up with his own philosophy, to bring up youth players and all that. We've got an aging squad. We've got Ronaldo. We've got Varane. We've got Bruno. We've got Pogba,
Cavani,
Cavani.
Cavani.
So we've got to win right now. We don't have time.
So okay, so you've ruled out
Conte
Ten
would have
Hag.
been
You've
the
ruled out
perfect person to play at this
who?
club. Antonio
Who?
Conte.
Conte. Yeah.
Well, we fucking let him go, right? It's fucking bullshit, Chai. I was pissed off.
Dude, I tell you what, I was talking to Vishnu this morning as well. We're having a bit of a fun conversation. So he was talking about how Ole plays 4D chess, where he goes to Tottenham, beats them, so that Conte can take that role and he serves himself. And I think there's a bigger strategy that we're okay. It's funny, but it's funny now.
Hmm.
Saying he's like, okay, let's be honest. The only way we'll qualify for a Champions League is if we win the Champions League, because I don't think we're finishing top four this season at
You
this
know,
rate.
no, I think if we get a good manager, I think we will. I think we'll just scrape in.
Yeah, but let's say they take their time to, and it's
Buddy
December
Fletcher and
already.
yeah,
If it's
no,
December already, then there's no point, right? Uh, I mean, December is just a 1 month now.
yeah,
When you go into the Christmas and New Year period with a half decent manager who's trying to stay up the squad and stuff, that's not going to happen. Let's say we don't get top four, right? I think okay. Let me say this in a different way. I think Tottenham's more probable of getting top four than we are at this point.
yeah, yeah. I
At
mean,
this point, at this
mm,
point, right?
mm,
The more probable. So top four is not going to happen.
yeah.
So what are the other ways? We have to win the Champions League. Champions League, we're not fucking getting through this round, let alone win it, right? If you don't get through this round, at least you play Europa League.
Yeah,
There's a better chance of winning the Europa League than anything else at this point. With the squad we have, with
yeah.
the new manager coming in and stuff like that. I think
I
that's
just
the
think, Chai, I
strategy.
think we've shot ourselves in the foot big time. We should have gotten rid of Solskjaer a lot earlier.
When in
This board,
2028, in
2018,
2008, we shot ourselves in the foot. I
yeah.
think that wound is still bleeding.
We've gone. The problem with this board, it's so reactive. We've gone through this period. We've lost so many games. We've lost 5 games now. We are negative goal difference in the league. We are seventh in the league. Even Arsenal are above us right now. I don't know how we come back, Chai. The problem is all these other teams also at about our level with the current coaching setup that we have right now. So if we had to play with Fletcher, well, we don't even know how good he is. First of all, we had to put
Yeah,
Fletcher and McKenna there against like even Arteta, Conte, Pep. Forget about Pep and
Klopp,
Tuchel and
Klopp.
a Klopp. They're in another league on their own. But against like the top four, this number 4 position is basically the only position that's up for grabs as far as I'm concerned.
Correct. Correct.
Um, so I
So why Carrick? I mean, I'm surprised. Why Carrick? Sorry, why Carrick and who's the other fellow? Fletcher. Why Carrick and Fletcher?
and the problem with Carrick as well, Chai, he's been here under two of our former managers. He was
Yeah.
here under Jose. He's here under Solskjaer.
Hmm.
Both the times of football has been abysmal.
Correct.
So why is he still here? So then the question is, who's keeping him there?
Hmm.
Who's keeping there is Murto or Woodward or whoever it is. These are not footballing people who
Right.
understand. Look, they looked at the City game, right? City, we lost 2-0, right?
Mm.
They would have gone after the international break and said, okay, it was City anyway. We were going to lose. 2-0
Mm.
is not so bad,
Hmm.
right? Because they don't know. They don't know about football,
Correct.
Chai. They're not me and
Correct.
you and like the rest of us in the forum, right? They don't watch football like we do. Like you can lose 2-0 and put a worse of performance than to lose 5-0 against Liverpool and play better.
Correct.
These
Correct. They
guys
don't
don't know the
understand.
difference.
Right. Right.
Right, so we are left with people who don't know what anything about football making decisions of our club. So I
Right.
just think no matter what we do, we might win a trophy or what in the next year, but 3 years down the line, Shy, trust
We're
me,
gonna
we'll
have this
come back
guy.
to the same point. We're going to be asking, whether it's Rogers out or Zidane out or whoever it is, it's going to be the same narrative again, as far as I'm concerned.
But Gary, you still haven't answered the question. We've spoken
What
about
is it?
Brendan Rodgers, why I don't think he'll be a good fit. But then what Ten Hag, we said, okay, you know what, it's going to be difficult and probably not the kind of manager who'll fit the expectations of the club. Now,
Yeah,
what? Who else is there? Zidane doesn't want to come because, well,
his wife doesn't like
exactly
doesn't like the
Manchester.
Manchester. Um,
So he's never even committed to being.
Apparently, Laurent Blanc is available, so I wouldn't mind getting
I
him.
wouldn't mind him as well. I think he.
Yeah, and Poch. I mean, I don't know if Poch gets
Poch,
sacked.
dude, no
Maybe.
man, fuck,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. I don't know.
He's
I would have
probably
taken
getting
Poch 2 seasons ago, but no.
exactly when he was doing well at Tottenham.
Yeah.
Not the season when he.
you know, we always get the used goods, Chai. I mean, we got Mourinho when he was washed up. We got Van Hal
Yeah,
when he was over the line. I
dude,
mean,
I have
Moyes never had a chance. Solskjaer
Moy.
never had the CV. Like we just get we never had like the pick of the pick. We've
Yeah,
never had like we've never had the Ferrari. It's always the fucking Proton or
yeah.
the Fiat or whatever it is. We've never had a Ferrari.
Fiat, fucking those bloody motorized bicycles, dude. That's what we were talking.
That's what we've had.
Those
It's bloody
mo-
shambles.
like Vespas
It's
fucking driving on a bloody
Vespas.
highway.
That's a
Oh
joke.
fuck.
You.
No, it's we laugh now, but I think the what's available hasn't kind of matched what we want. I don't
Mm,
know. I don't think there's a definition of what we want either. So it's very difficult to fit someone in that mold.
yeah.
Um, okay, now that he's fired. Okay, so let's say do
Okay.
you think there'll be a swap of managers where Ole will go to Leicester City
Ah.
and then Brendan Rodgers?
Dude, you're killing me. What? Swap? Even if you're told a Division 3, no, in fact, okay, let's keep in the Premier League. Even if you tell Brighton, you know what? I'll take
Brighton's
your
doing quite
manager.
decently.
Yeah, I'll take Harry. What's his name? Uh, Graham Potter, not Harry Potter. if you tell Graham Potter, look, you come over here, and then we'll give you Solskjaer. They're going
Mm.
to say, oh, Solskjaer's not
Stuff like that.
even like Premier League quality. Dude,
Mm.
there's no way he gets back to Premier League. He got
No,
Cardiff relegated. He went back to the Norwegian League. Okay, he won one or two trophies there, which in the
I
Norwegian
mean,
League, I'm sorry, with all due respect, is
mm.
nowhere near the Premier League in terms of quality. Came back to the Premier League, won fuck all for the last 3 years. Now he's gotten sacked. Which
Yeah.
other team is going to take him in the Premier League?
No team, dude. I mean, I think if Rooney wants to leave Derby, I think that probably Derby would be a good place for him to work.
Yeah.
Fuck that, dude. Anyway, so we don't
Yeah.
have a plan
Mourinho is
ahead.
our Mourinho is a 1950s Ferrari. You
Correct.
know,
It's one that should be in the
it's
model. It should be in
yeah,
the showroom for vintage
showroom. That's
value.
what it is.
Van,
Van Hal is a 60s Ferraris, so
Van Hal is 60, probably Mourinho's 80s.
80s. Okay,
Both
yeah,
of which should be tucked away in an antique showroom where people are polishing it once in a while and they just open the garage for
yeah.
visitors. But anyway, dude, I'm worried. I don't know what will happen next. First of all, I don't know. I don't even know if this is official, if he's sacked or not. If tomorrow they come up with, okay,
Hey, don't be surprised. You get a statement of
don't
United. We are going to
like,
persevere with Solskjaer. We're going to extend his contract on top of what we've already given him for another 6 years. So we'll make it to what 10 years.
uh,
Solskjaer is our life and dream, and he epitomizes what United's about. All that bullshit
yes,
jargon and all that crap.
mediocrity, then yes.
Yeah, and look, if they can't find a manager, what can you do? I don't know. If you can't find a manager, you're probably right. It's better to keep Solskjaer there, who's got a bit more credibility
Not
compared to
credibility,
Fred.
dude. He's at least being used to the workings right now.
Yeah.
Fletcher, I don't know what his role was in the club. I know he's some sort of a fucking technical director. How technical was he to be a director of technical, dude? I
Chai,
mean,
his role is, in fact, I think he was, yeah, I think
technical
it's
director.
technical director.
Correct.
And what's funny is in that role, typically in a sports organization, that person wears a suit, right? So you manage you're more on the corporate side, not
Hmm.
hands on. But Darren Fletcher, because our coaching so appalling, has actually put his tracksuit on and he's out there in the field and he's coaching our players. This is the shambles of a club that we're at. So I look at it. I think whilst he may not have the experience,
Hmm.
he may be able to coach our team better because I think he's a bit more hands-on, maybe.
I
So
don't know,
that
dude.
he
Yeah.
might not be able to, do a great job in press conferences and all that, but
But
at
does he
least
have the balls to drop Maguire? I want to
I,
know if he has the balls to drop Maguire. That's all I want to know.
I,
Or not balls, but does he have the courage? Okay,
yeah,
then.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it's the $1 million question. Like that's the thing. Like you want to know what is the dynamics around that team? Who are the real leaders in that team? Like I mean, Ronaldo is definitely a leader. Bruno's a leader.
Yeah.
Maguire, I don't see how he's a leader, but apparently he is. Then Luke Shaw, and then you've got
But
yeah.
there's
So
even that's what is lack of forward thinking. Why would you put Maguire as a captain? Now, if he put him as a captain and he plays without being a captain on the field, then it's not sending the right signals, right?
yeah,
So you can't just say, okay, Maguire, I've got to strip the captaincy off you and give it to someone else mid-season, which
yeah.
means the only way he doesn't get to be a captain is when he doesn't play, right?
Hmm.
Man, he's so bad. He is so bad.
I
That
look.
goal
I,
that
I'll be, I'll be honest, right? I know he's bad, but I think under a better coach, I think he could be a bit better. I honestly think. I think there's a
fine
player
margins,
there,
no?
but I think I look at Maguire. He's not sure what he needs to do, and because he's obviously not the fastest player in the team,
Oh my god.
he's he's caught between a rock and a hard place. In terms of who he needs to mark, where he needs to be positioning wise, which balls to go after, which ones to sit back. So there's no coaching there, which basically amplifies all his weaknesses. And I just think that we, I think with a better coach, I'm hoping Fletcher comes in there, and maybe he does a better job, dude. I mean, I'm just hoping, Chai. I'm really hoping. Okay, we have this interim project where we keep Fletcher there. What if Fletcher starts winning, 6, 7, 8, 9 games in a
Don't even
trot,
bring it up.
and then
Don't
we,
even bring
we,
it
we
up.
jump on, oh, Fletcher's at the whale, and then we give him another contract. I mean, that's what I'm worried about, honestly.
Oh my god, dude. I don't know. There are a lot of
Yeah,
questions that this look, we got what we I think we got what we wished for in terms of the manager being, put out of his misery, let alone being sacked, right? Put out of his
yeah,
misery. I think he was struggling. We all knew that. I think he was bit beyond his capabilities and skill sets and stuff like that. So
yeah,
we put him out of his misery.
yeah.
Hopefully, he, I mean, moving forward, we get the right person. But I think Ed Woodward needs to go. I think that's more prominent, right? And bring in a football brain there, so we can hire the right managers and we can at least try to shape or be competing for the title at least in the next 3 years. Because with the new
Yeah.
manager, I don't expect it to be like Tuchel's fairy tale, right? And
Mm.
that itself could come crashing anytime, right? Funny story: the Chelsea this season have conceded 4 goals, four,
I know it's crazy, Chai.
four.
They're so good. They're so good defensively.
Okay,
And you know what? The thing about Chelsea is they're so secure at the back, but going forward, they might score one, 2 goals. I think scoring has been an issue for them. But what I'm seeing right now is they are getting other players to kind of contribute to that. I mean, Lukaku's been injured for a while, but I know I look at Harvards and people like Reece James,
dude, they have a
um,
fucking big squad, right?
Ben Chilwell as well, chipping in goals. Fuck, he scored a beautiful
Werner is
goal.
there. Bloody what? Werner
Werner. I
is
mean,
just not
they've
quite
got so
settled
many
in, but
people.
yeah.
And I don't know, man. I'm just worried about. I think you're right, Chai. You know, top. If you don't get top four, then what happens then? In
If you
terms
don't
of
get
which
top four,
manager can you attract? You
correct.
know, Pogba's going, Ronaldo is leaving, Bruno might
Yep,
leave.
yep.
Then we're going to be in Arsenal if we're not
Could be
careful.
worse. Yeah, it probably
Yeah.
be. Dude, let's not say like Arsenal. I think Arsenal is doing well. I think we've just what we're taking them for granted, right? At least
Hmm.
they're better than they were last season. There is some improvement, right? At
Yeah.
least in the recent
And
past,
they've
right?
made some good signings as well. I mean, they got battered by Liverpool. I agree on that. But I saw the highlights. I think they played okay. I think they just lack the quality that Liverpool have, which I think
Comes
you
from
know
the
where they.
manager and driving down, right?
Yeah, I mean the man. I think Arteta is doing a good job now. I think he's finally getting the best out of his players. You
Yeah,
know, they're grinding out results, so they're beating the smaller teams.
yeah.
But I
That's
think
all you
they
can
lack.
hope for, right?
It's all you can hope for, right? So I think they'll be thereabouts. And I think if we're not careful, we're going to be, you know, fighting with them for top four. Arsenal, Tottenham, United, you know, fucking top
Leicester,
four. Leicester, yeah.
Leicester.
I
Well,
mean,
if they
West
if
Ham.
they
Don't forget West Ham.
West Ham, exactly.
So
I don't know, dude. I don't know where we go
it's
from there,
sad,
right?
Chai. It's sad when you look at this, the way this team is going, and you know, it's just shambles. I just want us, actually, you know what would be really nice? Let's keep Solskjaer, give him a 10-year contract or what? Let's fucking get relegated. Get relegated. Man
Are
United's
you
valuation
tripping?
drops. No, I don't care. Like the valuation drops, these owners fuck off. We start fresh. Like get proper owners and actually build a club that wants to be successful on the pitch. That's what I want.
Dude, all of this valuation and because the public company and stuff like that, there won't be drive for takeovers and stuff like that as well, right? Because there'll be a lot of fucking nuances
Yeah,
when
but
you're a
if you're
listed
if you're
company
if
and
you're
that.
relegated, your share price is gonna drop, right? It's gonna
Yeah,
tank,
I
right?
understand that. That I
Yeah,
understand. That part of it I understand. But
yeah.
generally, it's like what happened with Newcastle could never happen with us because there's
No,
that.
it.
Correct.
No. I'm not crazy. This is what I want. This is what I want to happen. I just
United's
think
broken, Gary.
I'm just over this. Yeah, fucking ownership, man. I'm just over it. Yeah, I might regret it, but I think I'll be okay with watching championship football for a season. Juventus did that. They got relegated and then they came back and they won Scudetto. So why can't we win
Mhm.
the Premier League again? So yeah.
And
Anyway,
also, I think the players need to, just moving on, right? I think these players, at least the core of these players, have been at least across at least two of those manager transitions, right? Some people like Martial and Martial and Rashford have been across three managers now, right?
yeah.
Some players need to take a look at themselves because they're not babies, right? They're getting paid shitloads of money. I think the
Hmm.
players also need some blame to be attributed to themselves. I don't know if it's a
Yeah.
lack of passion, lack of motivation, or whatsoever. The reason may be, right? I think we just need to take a look at it, start from there. If people don't want to play, just fuck them off. Them. I think Pogba leaving will be a good start, right?
Hmm.
And at least there'll be that, okay, you don't want to stay, please go. I think leadership wise, you asked me that question, right? I think Mino Riola has more of a bloody influence on the United dressing room than any of the previous
Uh,
managers have had, and that's a sad place to be. On that note, let's quickly touch upon what's coming up in the future. I think we have Villarreal, then we have
Villarreal must
Chelsea and
win
Arsenal.
game, must win no matter what, Chai. We've got to
Yeah,
win this now. Now Solskjaer's gone, all agenda aside, we've got to win the games now.
yeah.
Very, very important that we win that, because if we don't and Atlanta win, then we could miss out on
Correct.
qualification. So, away game against
Away
Villarreal,
game.
I'm expecting a very, very tight game. I think there'll be
Hmm.
1 or 2 goals at most.
Hmm.
Villarreal's going to be really organized the back. We've got to come with our A game to beat them. And
Hmm.
our record in Spain has been horrendous, even during Fergie's time. I don't think we've won there convincingly yet. So
Hmm.
it's going to be hard. But I think if we can get a draw, I think it'll be a decent result,
Yeah,
which
agreed.
brings us into the young boys game at home. Which if we
Yeah,
win, then we're through.
yeah.
But I think more than the Champions League, Chai. I think I'm just worried about the league, Chai. Really worried about the league now.
Gary, I don't. Well, let me ask you this question. I think our ambition should be top four right now, right? We're not winning the league from here. It's just not possible. I don't
No,
think, unless and until there's a complete transformation, or even if there is, I don't
no,
think
we're not winning
we'll
the
make up
league.
this point. We're not winning the league, so it's
No,
just the top four right now. So
yeah,
whether we start with the manager, wipe the slate gear like the previous seasons we've done, give up
yeah.
the season and say we'll use the season to kind of build a system, build a foundation, and then move and get into the new season next year, saying we'll compete. I don't know. It's a call that
I
we
mean
need to take. I
that could
mean,
happen, right? So I think there's 2 scenarios here at play. One
mm,
is if we get done right now,
yeah,
and somehow we miraculously make top four, I
yeah,
think he stays on.
yeah,
If we don't, then there's going to be a mass exodus at United.
correct.
Zidane or whoever that manager is. If we get a Zidane, I don't think he's staying there. If we don't get top four, okay, simple as
Yeah,
that. He's going to go, and then Ronaldo will leave.
yeah,
All the senior players are going to go. Cavani is
yeah,
going to go for sure. Bruno might
yeah,
go. Pogba will go. So we'll end
mm,
up with a young squad. Now, in
correct.
that scenario, I can see Ten Hag coming in.
Yeah,
The
and building
next
from scratch. Yeah,
5, 6 years, we might be shit. We'll be, competing for fifth, sixth. But
mm,
let bring him there, and more importantly, we bring in a Van der Sar or Omas.
mm-hmm.
Just bring the whole package, Chai, and
Yeah,
let's build for the future.
correct.
So I can live with that. So it depends what happens. I think
Fair
uh,
point. Fair
it's
point.
we've just left Solskjaer too long in charge of the club. I think
Yeah,
if we had made the decision a bit earlier, I
yeah,
think we would have been able to salvage. I would have been more confident about top four. I mean, we're 6 points off top four right now, and
yeah.
it's going to be crazy. It's going to be
It's gonna be
crazy.
crazy. Yeah.
Mm. On that note, yeah, it's been a good show. A bit longer than usual. Lots to talk about about Solskjaer and United, but yeah, I guess we'll talk again after the Villarreal game
Villarreal game. Yeah.
on Wednesday.
And hopefully
So
we'll have a better direction about who's possible and
uh,
who's been linked to the club and stuff like that.
yeah,
So
let's see what happens.
let's see what happens.
Solskjaer could stay there.
Fuck.
God. Anyway, all right, guys.
Yeah.
Hope you like the video. Hit a like on the like button, please, 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 and also please subscribe to the channel if you're new. Until next episode, this is Chai with Gary.